800 subscribers. Though. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, listen. Hey, you can tell my ex I got something for the kiss. And I ain't talking about nothing sweet. You hear me? Oh, hey, let me call you back. Let me call you back. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, listen. Cue that wind effect. This one's special. This one's special. Everybody bring it in. Bring it in. We sitting up high. We sitting up tight. 800 subs, and I'm feeling alive. I'm feeling alive. Listen, guys. Let's bring it in. We already knew at the beginning of the week. I told you, FUD seasons when it start. Didn't I tell you they was about to start just smashing things? Tech sector running up. Got some more good news with our tech sector, like I keep screaming. Tesla, Nvidia, Microsoft, XRP, Bitcoin. Bitcoin, be careful. But like I said, not even be careful on the standpoint of be careful on the point of this is the time to be buying into Bitcoin because Bitcoin is going to experience a little bit of headwind as the SEC wants to regulate basically the same things they're not regulating in the stock market. I mean, this is just shocking to me. I've just never seen something just so blatant. And Gary Gensler, I thought, excuse me, let me not say names. Allegedly, GG, it's supposed to be for the a retail investor, but it's just crazy how I was listening to his interview. Sounds like he has some type of indifference against the cryptocurrency, and like there can't be a cryptocurrency. He was like basically like the U.S. dollar is a cryptocurrency. I said, well, I was like, well, you just admitted that there. I'm just sitting up here. I'm like, wait a minute. We know the U.S. dollar is a cryptocurrency, and look at what y'all are doing with it. I don't want that. I don't want this cryptocurrency. I want my own. But nonetheless, we're going to tap down in it. But there is a report coming up here, basically what they call the crypto craze. SEC is trying to fire down. Coinbase is up under that 50 cal getting blasted. I don't know how it was just on Binance. It's still on Binance, but now Coinbase is just in that crosshair and getting sniped. But let's get down to it, people. Hey, listen. Much love, people. We're at 800 subs. What a journey. What a beautiful thing, man. We pushing to 1,000. We smashing to 1,000. Let's get down to it. Yes, sir.
SEC Chair Gary Gensler has been on the warpath against crypto for quite some time, but in the past 24 hours, he brought out the big guns, aiming right at the largest U.S. crypto exchange.
Hey,
Coinbase shares are nosediving about 12.33% right now, down 20%.
And I got something to show y'all, just so you know, Coinbase is about to get smoked. We'll see it at the end of the video.
For just the last two sessions, the stock action comes on the heels of lawsuits filed against not just Coinbase, but against the Cayman Islands-based Binance exchange as well. So regarding Coinbase, the SEC alleges it's been operating as an unregistered securities broker, offering and selling securities without registering those transactions.
Liz trying to put their skin out there today.
Back, accusing the SEC of weaponizing its office to harm the American economy. Its chief legal officer saying, quote, the SEC's reliance on an enforcement-only approach in the absence of clear rules for the digital asset industry is hurting America's economic competitiveness and companies like Coinbase that have a demonstrated commitment to compliance. The solution is legislation that allows fair rules for the road to be developed transparently and applied.
Guys, mind y'all now, I don't even know how we can do this. The SEC is suing Coinbase, Binance, same as how they have with XRP, for not being regulated securities, but yet they have no way for cryptos to be regulated. Like literally, you can go in the stock exchange, you can go in this regulation where you go to SEC and get regulated. There is no means that they've set up for coins, cryptocurrencies to be regulated. I mean, this is just the wildest thing. Like being in this stock market is just the craziest thing as far as like watching the debauchery. It's like, what are we doing?
Equally.
I feel like I'm on the playground. They just making up rules. They go.
The exchange is also facing scrutiny from a task force of 10 state regulators, with New Jersey and Alabama dropping their attacks right at the same time, alleging today that Coinbase violated state security laws.
What are we doing?
Well. So the SEC filed a similar suit against Binance on Monday, accusing the exchange of violating securities laws.
What is Alabama? What are we even doing in this?
And misleading investors by commingling their funds with another operation that the owner, CZ, actually runs as well. With Gensler's intentions for crypto becoming crystal clear now, Could this be the final kill shot for cryptocurrencies? How can they survive? Let's bring in one of Bitcoin's
Absolutely
biggest bulls and early investors in the crypto space, Pomp Investments, Anthony Pompliano. Pomp, give me your thoughts on this, your gut reaction to these lawsuits.
Yeah, Liz, thank you so much for having me. I think there's a couple of key things that people need to remember. The first is that in the United States of America, people are presumed innocent before being proven guilty. And so what we're about to see here is a court is going to hear arguments from both the government and the regulators, and then from a business. And ultimately, I think that the court is going to decide. But this is not a new debate. We have seen for years and years people across the industry, both inside of crypto, outside of crypto, people in the legal profession and people outside the legal profession, all trying to debate what is a security. Do these assets meet that standard or not? Now, what is interesting about this is
we're going to cover this at the end. Like I said, I've got a clear. It's from Twitter. There's a gentleman that did the perfect example of showing how there's a separate. We talked about this yesterday. Crypto can be both. You can't blanket statement and say is it a asset or security. It's both. It can be both. That's the beauty of crypto. It can be both. I can take the form of value of a car and tokenize it and make that an asset. I mean, that's what it is.
Right? The courts are going to ultimately hear out both arguments. They're going to make a decision.
There's going to be clarity.
For years, I've said to folks, look, yes, we want regulatory clarity, but do not confuse regulatory clarity with it actually being rules that you may want. So we may get clarity, but they may not be the rules that you want. And so be careful what you wish for. Now, the other thing that I'll call out here is there's a difference between centralized exchanges and decentralized exchanges. The decentralized exchanges continue to be relatively unharmed. There's not really any regulatory enforcement against them, and they continue to operate bull market, bear market, regardless of regulatory environment. One last thing I'll say is there's offshore and onshore. The crypto analyst Will Clemente from Reflexivity Research recently put out a piece, and he talked about the fact that 86% of all trading volume is outside of the United States already. Now, that's interesting because regardless of what happens in the United States, whether these assets are considered a security or not, I'm
about to say now, stop playing with me. Key point. They've damn near got everything banned in the U.S. right now, except for a couple of exchanges. XRP is the most legitimate of the currencies, and they've been fighting for what, 2 years now to even get regulated in the U.S. But they've already expanded, already going off into Dubai, which is why, one, this isn't going to shock. Is this the end of crypto? America's already behind. Crypto already been moving around already. This is not going to do anything but push America further away from crypto, which might be honestly what the government's aiming for. That would make sense. They don't want you to be going into this other form of being able to have asset and money. They want you to stay stuck with the USD. So of course they're gonna ensue a war against this because again, this takes the power out of the government's hands. Just straight put like that.
I do not think that there's going to be any impact on the international adoption of these assets. And in fact, if there is actually abrasive action here in the United States, maybe what we will see is an acceleration of adoption outside the U.S. as more people move offshore, more people start to adopt these assets, realizing that they truly are international assets and not U.S.-based assets.
Well, what do you make, Pomp, of the fact that most of the cryptos, the majors like Bitcoin and Litecoin and Ethereum are moving higher? In fact, when you look at Bitcoin at this hour, it looks like it may very well overtake 27,000 again. It's at 26,932 at the moment.
Yeah, what's that bad boy down at that bottom, baby? What's that bad boy down at that bottom? Yeah. 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 Yeah, big XRP, big sturdy, big run up. Oh, you think you're going to stop this? You're not about to stick us in this box, Gary. So you best get with it. Because I'm telling you, it's not going to be good. They trying to attack it. And what's crypto doing? More people are rushing their money. Oh, whoa. Listening to that interview, you could clearly hear Gary Gibbs was like, no, there's not enough room for crypto in the U.S. dollar. U.S. dollar is a cryptocurrency. Yeah, but y'all are blowing up and printing every single day. We don't want it.
The market
I don't want that one.
Was shaken, and now it's stirring higher.
Yeah, I don't really pay that much attention to the day-to-day prices. And frankly, I really just pay attention to Bitcoin more so than anything else in the industry. But what I can say is that Bitcoin seems to be the asset that has kind of passed all of the filters. So most of the regulatory organizations around the world, not just in the United States, all agree that Bitcoin is not a security and therefore it isn't going to run into any of that abrasive action. There's a lot of questions about these other.
Mind y'all, Bitcoin and XRP are the same thing. XRP just does what Bitcoin does better. So, I mean, this is just the whole thing I've been saying where I'm like, XRP is going to be green lighted
What
here
I do
soon.
think that you see is that any sort of asset that is outside of kind of the legacy financial system, especially when it's decentralized like Bitcoin, it is going to respond in a positive manner whenever it is a clear line being drawn.
Decentralized currency.
And there's
They trying to centralize all these banks.
I just want to say on
We
your
want
screen,
things
the SEC has named
decentralized.
these 13 tokens, including
I don't want you
Solana
having control
and
over that.
Polygon, as securities, not as currencies. So, I mean, we got to see how they are establishing that categorization, right?
Yeah, I don't have that answer. I don't think anyone really has that answer. And so ultimately, you know, the regulatory bodies, they have a perspective. The companies, projects, and people in the industry have a perspective. And it looks like we're going to go to court. And we're going to get an answer here. And so we'll see what happens.
You know, what about the ongoing Ripple SEC lawsuit?
Crypto was
We've been waiting for some clarity on that one. The SEC originally took aim, I believe it was its very first attack on crypto when it filed that against XRP, saying it was not a currency, but rather a security. And do you foresee any sort of clarity on that particular lawsuit soon?
Yeah, what usually happens in these situations is when the SEC comes forward with some sort of action, usually companies will either take one of two paths. They will either say, yes, we are going to settle and we're going to kind of choose a quick end to this battle, or they kind of dig their heels in and they say, look, we're going to go fight this in court. What appears to be the strategy of kind of XRP/Ripple, whatever the entity that you want to kind of describe there, is that they are choosing to go and debate it, to go and present their case. And so that can take a long time, right? These litigations can literally play out for years and years and years. That entity has quite a bit of capital.
But guess what? After they get done with that litigation, which again, like I said, we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. They're not going to be bothered by the SEC again. There's not going to be a retest and no. They're literally going to come and say, hey, this is this. It's not that. Simply put, that's allowed. We're allowed. I mean, I'm just telling you.
Desire to go and fight it, and so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we're looking at a one-week picture.
Notice how you keep talking about XRP now, people. Maybe we're just crazy. Hey, maybe I'm just talking up here. Maybe XRP might just not be anything.
The intraday looks pretty interesting.
I know you keep popping up on this damn page.
Over the week, it's certainly off its one-week highs, but it is now trading at 52 cents when about a year ago it was more like 34. Pomp, one last yes or no answer here. Was this and these two lawsuits by the SEC the kill shot for crypto, or no way?
I don't think that anything anyone is going to do is going to kill Bitcoin, and Bitcoin continues to be the king of this entire industry, and I don't see that changing anytime soon.
Anthony Pompliano, great to have you.
Hey, Pompliano.
Thank you.
Pompliano, I like you. Eyebrows a little bit too bushy for me. Eyebrows a little bit too bushy, but I like you. I like you. Just keep it straight up. Don't let that FUD even tap into what we got going on over here, Pompliano. All right, guys, double tapping in here. Just looking at our stock, guys. They and obviously this is what I titled. I hope y'all like the thumbnail. I thought that was hysterical. Y'all probably like, what in the? Hey, it all correlates. Listen, guys, we're busting out the gym. We're busting buttons off. I told you yesterday we could see on a macro scale where each time you can see how this algo is snatching, where we're coming out of pre-market, blowing up, and they have to try to do their algo trading, right, to try to bring it back down for the close slightly. But you're seeing this rapid movement. Look at our bust out today. Pause. We literally snatched out, ran up to 470 before they started, obviously, synthetic sell-off and then the barcode pattern. But this is just showing me how much pressure is winding up, guys. When they blasted us that week and a half straight, I like I kept saying, it can't just go anywhere. It's not like it disappeared. That wasn't selling pressure. They have how many? There was less than 100 million sold in the last 6 months, 7 months. So that by math showed that there's less than 50 million shares been going out. The amount of shares they were populating a day just let me know that everything they were doing was synthetic, and they were shooting all of that to the dark pool. Pulling through, further confirming, here we are sitting at 100,000 measly shares at 64.3%. And now we have our reporting data from yesterday. Now, for some reason, we're getting our data a day behind, which is crazy. they were reporting that the day of and showing how it was going, and they were altered at the end of the day. Now they're not reporting anything; they just throwing it at the end of at the beginning of the next market, middle of the next market day. But here we are. Remember, I said that correlation where they sent 100% of it to the dark pool. Now notice how we're rising, and look at that short percentage going down. So that means that now they've only let 56% of the short 56% of the volume be short, and the rest of it is buying pressure or so on and so forth, which is going to correlate to green. We're getting close to that 40, and like I said, those days getting to that 40 range is when we have those big pops at 46, where you have those, 15%, 10% moves as correlation off what we did before. Obviously, that being said, all of that's irrelevant until June 29th. Everything in betwixt, if it ain't a snatch up, if it ain't Moaz, it really isn't. It doesn't matter to me. Coming in, though, here we are, note, still somehow magically at 20.51% short interest, but we're coming in and closing in on 10 days short, 10 days to cover, 9.55. Now, remember I told y'all beginning of the week, remember we were at 6 or something like that, right? On Friday. I told you next week you're going to watch it climb right back up to 12, and now watch this short interest not change. Now, the days of cover is going up, but the short interest didn't. I mean, it's like these people just think we are just stupid. Just absolutely stupid. They're showing, they're actually reporting right now 62.47% on the off exchange volume, which is, I mean, we'll have to see how that correlates to stock tracker tomorrow. But obviously, that doesn't correlate with today's price action, so I can't go with it. What was we ripping into? Oh, all right, now to get down to the nitty gritty, people. Nvidia, and I pull this up here because like I keep screaming, Tesla, Nvidia, XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, HBAR, Apple, Amazon. Y'all don't miss it right now. I'm telling y'all, it's going down. Y'all watch it every single day. I've been calling it. We've been going green as a bean. Now look at this. Nvidia's upcoming dividend payment, a detailed analysis. As of June 2023, I said 2023. 2023, Nvidia Corporation is set to pay dividends to its shareholders. The graphic processing GPU company has been a pillar in the technology sector, recognized globally for its significant role in creating some of the most powerful GPUs and used in a variety of applications, including gaming, data centers, and professional. Listen, I knew it. Listen, guys. Now, not only are they sitting up here getting ready to hold this price and go forward, like I said, when that thing shot up and it didn't sell off, when they had that initial sell off from hitting that high, I said, oh, wait a minute. That baby's got juice in her. That baby's got juice in her. That baby's got juice in her. Let me pull this out on that so I can see this a little better. 30 minutes. That baby's got juice in her. Holding a pattern, and now what is an actual company that doesn't have a snake for a CEO, doesn't have a what's the word? Opposition, a spy, for a CEO, drops a true dividend. What's a true dividend? Nothing that has to do anything with the share price breaking down from us, but in fact, we're getting paid money for holding the stock, which is going to further induce people to hold the stock, because now it's like, wait a minute, it's up and I'm getting a dividend. Guys, y'all don't miss the movement, guys. You need, I keep saying, I'm gonna say it every single video, you need to have your gambling portfolio with your swing trades, your AMC, your GMEs, your obviously you might have to have a certain type of portfolio to be able to have your BBBYQ, which is another play. That's a play, not a long-term hold, but all of those need to be separated, and I recommend 10 to 20%. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just telling you how I do it, how this is working out best for me. 10 to 20% max your money, because you don't need that much money in a meme stock or retail stock for it to run up and make you a bunch of money. Over here, you need to be having a long-term portfolio where you're building those high pricing power companies that tech, these futuristic companies of the future. I'm telling you, don't miss out on the greatest generational wealth transfer. It's occurring right now, and they're setting it up right in front of your eyes. But nonetheless, Nvidia is now offering a dividend that's going to be coming out for holding the Nvidia shares. So I've been tucking up. I bought me 2 more shares of that bad boy. I caught that right at 337, 338, because I said I can't even get to go down to 350 for me to scoop up. I said I gotta scoop this up, because this thing like to flick back up to 400 back and forth. But guys, come back in. Speaking on what's going on with Coinbase, I pulled this up from Twitter, Unusual Whales, right? Yesterday, someone opened up a new Coinbase $50 weekly. Get the $50 weekly put of 107,000. They were 19% out of was it out of the money and expired in 4 days. Today, the SEC sued Coinbase. Those positions are big, up nearly 2,572%. They turned 100K to millions. Someone always knows. But this is just to let you know, right? And guys, hey, you can be the best trader. There's just no way for you to just be in there and be on point, right? This is like our old friend, this lady whose name rhymes with Blancy Belowski, right? Who hits it every single time. And that's why I'm saying this is just a pivotal point. It's just so ironic how here we are with our tax come from FCC, and we have magical big whales coming in and making cash off of this and hitting it right on point. I mean, I love this market, but if you don't know this is Fraud City that we float in, you're going to learn quickly. Hey, like I said, you better get with it or get left behind. Hey, pulling on through. This was actually the Nvidia. Does it actually show? No, I thought it was going to show actually how much the dividend was, but that's neither here nor there. This was another funny thing I saw. Elisa Foster, don't know who this is. It's on Twitter, but it was basically a summarization of what we were talking about yesterday. As far as what I was like, I would do it all again because we all got. If you've been in this play for a year, 2 years, 2.5 years. You've realized you've learned everything about the stock market. I was talking about that one of my old coworkers in Publix, where it was like, you've got 10 years of trading experience in 2 years. I mean, the stuff that we know now, and there's no way for us to have known unless you got in like that. You had to dive in it and pay that tuition. But what she wrote was, I knew nothing about the banking system and stock market until I got an AMC 2 years ago. And even I know it's coming. The underbelly of the whole corrupt system is splitting wide open. The death of the beast and the rise of retail. I hope it brings a new era of fairness for all. Yes and no. And what I mean by that is this. We are, guys, when I say the great reset is happening here, the greatest generational wealth transfer, y'all are watching this all bubbling up. The housing market, the commercial market, food sector, and retail sector are now starting to get splashed. Tech already got levied, as I mentioned. That's why I'm riding that wave through all of this with tech. That's going to be the levy. Tech is your money security up and above this. That's how you fly above the storm. But we're sitting here watching an implosion of the dollar, an implosion of old systems, and what is going to be new systems. Not only just outside, but even on the fundamentals as far as the stock market, guys. The stock market's changing. Retail is in this thing like a virus. What that song say? I'll come through and bleed through the sheets like a venereal disease, like a menstrual bleed through the sheets of the shower. Because the mind of the listen. Retail is all up in here. There is no, we're pushing them. Retail is starting in Boston and realize that we're the big bear in the room. We've been the elephant in the room, but they're pushing us all around. No, we played it wrong. We came in green. That's sad of them, right? But like I said, this is business. You can't take it personally. They came in and had a chance to knuckle up on us because they knew it was coming. The end of them being able to just run a stock market approached 2 years ago. They had to knuckle up and suck up everything they could because there's a reset and a change coming up. You're watching the SEC try to bear their best, but they're not going to stop crypto. Crypto isn't going anywhere. All you're going to do is push it off. I'm with Uphold anyways. I don't even use any American exchanges. I don't like them. I don't like Moomoo. I don't like any of that. I don't like any of it. Because half of the time we getting scared by them Robin Hood, Weeble. You getting ripped off by anything that's American. So, I mean, all that rah, they can do all this if they want to. All they're going to do is just put themselves financially way behind every other country. Because every other country is adopting this. So there is no, I hope my XRP. Watch your XRP run, guys. This is where Bitcoin and all these rallies. This is what crypto rallies are built off of. Oh, you want to attack it? Watch what people do. Pulling back in here. This was just one last funny point. Just tying in the fact that Gary Gensler is all on Coinbase and Binance and crypto, but this is something at all the best. And I love sarcastic people. I'm sarcastic. Listen, I hope someday the SEC decides that the daily stock manipulation of AMC, APE, and GME, which steals billions and billions and billions and billions, and did I mention it's billions daily from retail investors, a crime too? I sit up here and I say, listen, guys, I got a political science degree, but I say, hey, maybe it was best that I did go into sales and then off in the stock and do my own thing, because I don't think I could just sit up there. I'm just the type of person where my facial expression, when I sit up there, I watch Gary Gensler, I was like, wait a minute. Now I know you've been seeing all these ads of Gary Gensler, are you, hello, or you ain't gonna do that? All right. We just want to make sure you aren't gonna do anything. But now you're gonna step in and try to taint or cause dismay in this other sector because people are sliding out. What's happening, people, is that everybody is moving their money and setting up over in crypto. People are the money that they've withdrawn from these banks and the money that's been withdrawn from this stock market. People are setting their foothold and building their holdings in crypto, and they're seeing that a rapid pace. What this is occurring with Gary Gensler is just showing me really how bad economic things are getting for them. Government's losing its grip. So now they're like, oh, hell, wait a minute. Bump all that. We need to try to get in this, but you can't stop it. You can't stop it, so you might as well join it. But guys, listen. We'll go back over it again. Tesla, XRP, Nvidia, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Apple, Amazon, up. This is just a better way to show y'all. Oh. And of course, this is off of our news of hitting our all-time high. I put these lines up here on this. I don't know why it's going. Here. This was, what day was this here? Where we at? This was our spike day. So the second was the announcement of our, the virtual reality, augmented reality. That spike that happens, recovers, and now we're going back up on that. We've got Amazon, 126, actually above that line that we marked out yesterday. Like I said, that prime and that dish thing is brewing up. Teslidian, my baby. And Elon Musk, we do trust them dollars. Up 2021, actually, no, $225 in after hours. I need to mark this. So people can see this. I did have a mark. What's going on? No, okay. After hours going nuts. Look at the movement, people. Put that here. This was the second. You could have got it beginning of the month. Beginning of the month, you could have got around 200. We're up at 225 a share. I scooped these bad boys at 150. I don't know how much. I don't know how I could. I don't know how much I could further explain this to you guys. Tech is going to take us wayward. Don't miss out on it. Guys, go check our description. If you're not in your crypto, I recommend personally as my first suggestion, the Ballot Wallet. You get your 5% off there, $35. You get it for 30. Smooth, simple, physical storage. You can look at your cryptos. You can load them up off of. And like I said, in my crypto playlist, I'll show you how to buy cryptos off Uphold. That's what I like to use, and transfer them to your Ballot Wallet or transfer them to any cold storage wallet. But your Ballot Wallet is offline to use your passphrase and your address together on the website, and that's what brings it online. Of course, at that point, it can be hacked, but it's not going to unless you're doing some stupid as a bug on your computer. But if you want to avoid that danger, just like me, where you're just holding it, you don't have to bring it online so it's completely impenetrable. I got a metal card stored away behind my blickies, okay? Behind my blickies. Second that I would recommend be Legend Nano X. That's way more technically advanced. Still easy, simple to use. The setup process is a little bit rigorous, but we might make a video about that too, because like I said, you definitely got to YouTube how to get your Legend Nano X set up, but that is when you're stepping up the big boy stages for and being a plug. And I always recommend go check the Amazon in the description, the Amazon links, buy one of those small laptops. That's what I did as far as if you're going to plug something up. Similar how I separate my investment accounts. I have a separate laptop that I use as far as plugging up anything and dealing with my cryptos. I don't want to, not to say there's a bug on this computer, but I'm not taking a risk. I have a laptop that's specifically for that. Nothing else. They doesn't go on any public access. There's nothing that it touches. So, those are just my recommendations as far as trying to skip over any blips or anything like that. Because like I said, nobody wants to have their assets stolen. But the key of it all is make sure that you are pulling it off the exchange and then putting it on the wallet. Because if it's not your keys, it's not your crypto. Do not forget that. Guys, as you always know, much love. Y'all are making a dream come true. We in that big 800. That's the 8 with 2 boobs. You hear me? Hey, everybody knows what's next. Yes, sir.